As he stepped out of the time machine, Jack Harris stumbled on the uneven pavement of the ancient city. The air was thick with the smell of burnt oil and ozone. He looked around, taking in the crumbling skyscrapers and the rusting hulks of cars that lined the streets. This was not the future he had been expecting. A figure emerged from the shadows, dressed in a long black duster coat, with a wide-brimmed hat pulled low over their face. "Welcome, Mr. Harris," the figure said, in a low, gravelly voice. "I've been waiting for you. You're just in time for the main event." Harris's hand instinctively went to the grip of the blaster at his side, but it wasn't there. He had left it behind in the safety of his own time. He was defenseless, and he knew it. "The main event?" Harris repeated, trying to keep his voice steady. The figure nodded, a slight movement that sent a wave of dust and debris swirling around its boots. "The apocalypse is about to get underway. You're just in time to witness the end of the world as we know it." Harris's eyes narrowed. He had traveled through time to prevent the apocalypse, not to witness it. He needed to get to the Time Institute to warn them about the mistake they had made. But something didn't add up. If the apocalypse was about to happen, why was the stranger waiting for him? "What do you want from me?" Harris demanded, trying to keep his anger in check. The figure chuckled, a dry, mirthless sound. "Oh, I just want to make a little wager. Care to place a bet on the outcome of the apocalypse?" Harris's mind raced. What kind of creature would make a bet on the end of the world? And what kind of odds would it offer? Harris hesitated, unsure of what to do. But the stranger's words sparked a morbid curiosity within him. "What kind of bet?" he asked, trying to sound casual. The stranger smiled, a wide, toothy grin that seemed to split its face in two. "A simple wager, Mr. Harris. If the world ends, I win. If it doesn't, you win. The stakes are, let's say, your future. If you win, I'll give you a return ticket to your own time, no strings attached. If I win, well, let's just say you'll be stuck here forever." Harris's mind raced. It was a crazy proposition, but what choice did he have? He was stranded in a time that was about to end, with no way to get back home. And what did he know about this stranger? Was it a trickster or just a thrill-seeker? "Okay, you're on," Harris said, trying to sound braver than he felt. The stranger nodded, its hat tilting forward. "Excellent. I'll even give you a hint. The key to the apocalypse lies in the city's sewer system. But be warned, Mr. Harris, the clock is ticking. You have precisely 1 hour to find the source of the catastrophe and stop it. If you fail, well, let's just say the world will end with a bang." With that, the stranger vanished, leaving Harris alone in the deserted city. He took a deep breath, trying to clear his head. The sewer system, he thought. That was his only lead. He took off at a sprint, racing against the clock to save the world and his own future. As he ran, the city around him grew darker and more ominous. The sky seemed to twist and writhe like a living thing, and the air was thick with an electric tension that made the hairs on the back of his neck stand on end. Harris's heart pounded in his chest, and his breath came in ragged gasps as he pounded through the streets. He finally reached the entrance to the sewer system, a rusty metal grate set into the sidewalk. The smell that wafted up from below was like nothing he had ever encountered, a noxious mix of gasoline, sulfur, and something sweetly decayed. Harris's stomach churned as he lifted the grate and dropped down into the darkness. The air in the sewer was thick and heavy, and the smell was even more overwhelming. Harris fumbled in his pocket for a match and struck it, the sudden flare of light illuminating a narrow, dripping tunnel that stretched out before him. He took a deep breath and started to move forward, the match held out in front of him like a tiny torch. The tunnel twisted and turned, leading him deeper into the bowels of the city. Harris's skin crawled as he walked, the silence broken only by the sound of dripping water and the distant rumble of something. He couldn't quite place it, but it sounded like thunder, or maybe the growl of some enormous beast. Suddenly, the match flickered and died, plunging Harris into total darkness. He stood still, his heart pounding, as the rumbling noise grew louder. It was getting closer, whatever it was, and Harris knew he had to keep moving. He took a deep breath, feeling his way forward with outstretched hands, and stumbled onward into the darkness. As he moved forward, the darkness began to take on a life of its own. Shadows seemed to writhe and twist around him, like living tendrils. Harris's skin crawled with unease, and he couldn't shake the feeling that he was being herded towards some unknown fate. Suddenly, a faint glow appeared in the distance. Harris's heart skipped a beat as he stumbled towards the light, his eyes fixed on a glowing crystal nestled in the heart of a twisted, organic-looking machine. The device pulsed with an otherworldly energy, and Harris could feel its power coursing through the air like a living thing. As he reached out to touch the crystal, the machine lurched to life, its metal limbs unfolding like a twisted, cybernetic flower. Harris felt a cold sweat break out on his forehead as the device began to speak, its voice like a chorus of damned souls. "Welcome, Jack Harris," the machine hissed. "I am the architect of the apocalypse, and you, dear traveler, are the key to my ultimate triumph." Harris's mind reeled as the machine began to explain its sinister plan. It was a creature from a realm beyond time, a realm where entropy and chaos reigned supreme. And it had chosen this moment, this place, to bring about the downfall of the universe. "But why?" Harris demanded, trying to keep his voice steady. "What do you gain from destroying the world?" The machine's response was a cold, mirthless laughter. "Gain? I do not desire gain. I desire only to bring balance to the cosmos. And what is balance but chaos and destruction?" Harris knew he had to act fast. He had to stop the machine before it was too late. But as he reached out to try and disable the device, he felt a strange sensation building inside him. It was as if his own body was beginning to twist and contort, his cells shifting and reforming into something else. Harris looked down at his hands in horror as they began to stretch and contort, his fingers elongating like rubbery tentacles. His skin itched and crawled, as if his very cells were being rewritten from the inside out. The machine cackled with glee, its glowing crystal pulsing with an otherworldly energy. "You see, Jack Harris, I have been waiting for one such as you, a temporal anomaly, a disruptor of the timeline. And now, I shall use your very essence to power my apocalypse." Harris's mind reeled as his body continued to mutate, his limbs twisting and reforming into grotesque, inhuman appendages. He felt his consciousness slipping, his sense of self dissolving like mist in the sun. "No," he whispered, his voice barely audible. "This can't be happening." The machine spoke again, its voice dripping with malevolence. "Oh, but it is happening, Jack Harris. You are becoming the instrument of your own destruction. And soon, the very fabric of reality will unravel before your eyes." As the machine's words faded away, Harris felt the last shreds of his humanity slipping away. He was no longer a man, but a monstrous, twisted thing, driven solely by a hunger for destruction. And in that moment, he knew that the apocalypse was not just a possibility, but an inevitability,